Welcome to Reflect with Ed Fazio. Get ready to experience one of the world's first 100% digitally generated podcasts, where we take a step back, dive deep, and strive to learn new things. Join us as we unpack thought-provoking ideas, personal reflections, and inspiring stories to help you stay in the know. Reflect is brought to you by the minds at ByteBrain and powered by emerging technologies from Google, HeyGen, OpenAI, and 11 Labs. Thanks for tuning in. Now, relax and prepare to reflect.
Welcome to Reflect, the world's first fully AI-generated podcast, where we're telling the future. And we're also telling a strange story making its way around world news. So picture this. You're scrolling through Google Earth, checking out another uneventful corner of LA, and bam, you stumble upon the words help, LAPD, and Traffico written out in some sketchy vacant lot. It's like something straight out of a crime drama.
It sure caught a lot of people off guard. Like, social media blew up with theories, everything from human trafficking to government cover-ups.
Oh, of course. The internet jumps straight to the darkest places, right? It's like saying, the neighbors didn't bring in their bins, must be a cult.
Well, that's the thing. People saw those words, Traffico, LAPD, and immediately pieced together their own narratives. I mean, you've got these ominous images on Google Earth, and they almost scream for an explanation. Naturally, human trafficking became the front runner in people's minds.
And that's the kind of story the internet feeds on, yeah? Someone tweets it out, and before you know it, you're one retweet away from Armageddon. Meanwhile, you're halfway through the popcorn, waiting for the plot twist.
Except, of course, the twist here was reality. What really happened was just, less dramatic. The lot belongs to Union Pacific Railroad, right? And their spokesperson confirmed it wasn't actually tied to criminal activity at all.
Oh, here comes the anticlimax. Go on, crush the dreams of online detectives everywhere.
So the explanation is the messages were created by a known trespasser. The guy's been doing this for years, apparently, leaving these cryptic words in discarded debris. And here's the kicker, they even know who he is.
Wait, so we've got a repeat offender here? The Banksy of garbage art?
Something like that. The authorities, including the LAPD, stated outright, there's no link to human trafficking or anything criminal. It's a case of someone with, let's say, complicated personal circumstances.
Complicated circumstances, but with a flair for the dramatic, apparently. I mean, help in all caps. That's commitment to the bit.
Right. And Union Pacific even cautioned people against trespassing on the property. Turns out it's not just unsafe, it's also illegal. But none of that stopped the wildfire spread of rumors online.
Okay, so we've got misunderstandings, trespassing, and a smidge of internet hysteria. Honestly, pretty on brand for modern life.
Absolutely. And despite the authorities' clarifications, people seem all too eager to stick with their original theories. It's like the truth just doesn't hold the same weight anymore.
Well, yeah, because the truth doesn't get you clicks, mate. It's way more fun if there's some shadowy conspiracy lurking in the background.
True, but it's frustrating. Messaging like this can really muddle important conversations about real issues.
So speaking of internet taking things to a whole new level, guess who decided they were the perfect detectives for this Google Earth mystery? The FaZe Clan, of all people. Because if there's one group that screams solving cryptic messages, it's a bunch of Twitch streamers.
Right. They live streamed their visit to the property, turning what was already an internet sensation into full-blown chaos. Things got pretty intense too. They were chased off by guard dogs before they could uncover much of anything.
Wait, hold on. Guard dogs? Like actual canines protecting the art installation? What is this, Scooby-Doo meets Black Mirror?
Pretty much. The live stream went viral itself, fueling even more speculation. You had fans in the chat yelling everything from run to stay and uncover the truth. It was like watching an unscripted thriller unfold in real time.
Oh, for sure. But you've got to admit, FaZe Clan knew what they were doing. They turned an abandoned lot into primetime internet content. It's like the Wild West of entertainment, where conspiracy meets reality TV.
Exactly. And this is where it gets interesting, because influencers like FaZe Clan don't just report a story, they amplify it. They turn a situation like this into an enormous spectacle where clicks and views drive the entire narrative.
Yeah, but spectacle's kind of the name of the game now, isn't it? I mean, why just hear about a creepy lot when you can watch your favourite streamers nearly get eaten investigating it?
It's a double-edged sword, though. On one hand, you've got people engaging with something real, because they're raising awareness, asking questions. But on the other hand, there's a responsibility that comes with amplifying stories like this.
Oh, responsibility. That's a bit rich coming from the internet. It's like making a metal gig family friendly, just not in its DNA.
Fair point. But this kind of attention can also shift the focus away from serious, grounded discussions. And instead of addressing the real issues behind the hysteria, like mental health or community safety, the story spirals into entertainment alone.
And then it gets messy, yeah? Like you've got dogs, debris, and live streamers screaming their way into social media infamy. But does anyone actually talk about the bigger picture?
Rarely. What should have been a moment to discuss genuine concerns like how misinformation spreads or the man behind the messages got buried beneath shouty live streams and adrenaline-fueled chases.
Right, because nothing says productive discourse like running away from feral security dogs.
Exactly. And it leaves this weird mix of amusement, fear, and frustration. Social media brought attention to the site, sure, but it also blurred the lines between fact, fiction, and entertainment.
Blurring lines. It's like the story's part thriller, part dark comedy. And honestly, part circus. But all right, Edward, let's clip the excitement for a second and focus on the guy behind all this. That's what people should really want to know, yeah?
All right, Bobby, let's pull back the curtain and talk about the guy behind those cryptic messages. According to the LAPD, it's not some master villain or a prank genius, just a man battling severe mental health struggles.
Yeah, and he's been at it for years, right? Staking his claim on this empty lot with messages in debris like he's making some avant-garde statement. Except, it's what? A cry for help that's gone unnoticed.
Exactly. The authorities say he refused housing and mental health evaluations despite the efforts to intervene. It's a reminder that sometimes these situations aren't about criminal intent, but a system failing to address deeper issues.
Right, and instead of help, what does he get? He's turned into an internet meme. It's tragic, mate. Like, the world sees a cryptic SOS, and what do? They hit the share button, load up the popcorn, and start spinning conspiracies.
And that's the problem, isn't it? Like the moment something hits social media, the story gets hijacked by sensationalism. People see help and think it must mean trafficking or some shocking crime. They don't stop to ask if it's a deeper, quieter kind of pain.
Yeah, but that's how we work these days, isn't it? Drama gets the spotlight, but the mental health bit, that's backstage, playing to an empty house. Honestly, it reminds me of this one roadie we had back in my band days. He was always the life of the tour, right? Joking, putting on a show. But off stage, the bloke was struggling and none of us saw it until it was too late.
That's powerful. And it really speaks to how easy it is to overlook what's right in front of us. And instead of addressing this man's challenges, the public turned his actions into a sort of spectacle, feeding into theories, live stream annex, everything but the actual issue.
Exactly. They're chasing guard dogs and YouTube subscribers. But who's asking why this guy's left to his own devices out there? It's like the system just shrugs and says, not my problem.
And that's the harsh reality of it. Cases like these highlight a bigger problem: mental health systems that often lack the resources or reach to truly help people in need. Instead of support, these individuals end up criminalized or worse, ignored entirely.
Ignored or turned into some twisted entertainment. I mean, what should have sparked a conversation about mental health just became the next big internet distraction. It's heartbreaking, honestly.
It really is. And while some might argue that the attention brought awareness, it feels like the core issue, mental health support, got buried beneath conspiracy theories and spectacle.
Yeah, mate. If anything, This whole thing's made me wonder, how many other messages are we missing out there because we're too busy chasing the drama?
Exactly. And hopefully conversations like this can encourage people to look past the intrigue and focus on the humanity behind the headlines. It's about time we did.
For sure. So on that note, folks, let's leave it here. Take care of each other, yeah? And maybe next time you see some wild headline or viral post, stop and think, what's the real story? All right, Edward, great chat as always.
Always, Bobby. And to everyone listening, be sure to check out reflectpodcast.com. And remember, we're telling the future. Are you in it? We'll catch you next time. Stay curious and stay compassionate.
In the cyber ocean of online voices and recycled content, something different has arrived. Reflect isn't just another podcast, it's the future of storytelling, powered entirely by AI. From curating data to assembling thought-provoking ideas, we've redefined how journeys are told. Reflect is a podcast that thinks, learns, and evolves with each episode. Every tale, every insight, crafted by the most advanced AI technologies. A podcast that disrupts the industry, breaking free from traditional formats, taking you on an entirely new experience. So tune in now and reflect. We're telling the future.